What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the MLS team that we're going to be taking into the weekly objective to get that NepentheZ card. And then we're going to have one full game for the first game today and take some comments from the comment section. And then tomorrow's video will be us completing the challenge. But first and foremost, I want to take you guys to my Foot Champs weekend. I tell you something, dudes. This game is getting on my last nerve at the moment. I was doing great this weekend league. I was 17-3 and I was actually ready to just stop there for the weekend. I played one game on stream. I had just the most insane bad luck, bad gameplay, input delay, button lag, whatever we want to call it, and it just sent me on tilt, and I started playing tilted. And as you guys well know, when I play on tilt, I go from an elite 2 caliber player, as I've proven, to a silver 2 caliber player. I start making absolutely horrendous mistakes, pulling defenders out of position, rushing plays, diving into tackles, and I lose to just players that are on normal scenario I would beat, and I end up on 22 wins again. So I went 5-5 out of my last 10. There was one really notable specific game that cost me. It was actually the second to last game. I was 4-3 up in the 93rd minute. I've got the ball at my keeper's feet. It's 2 minutes of injury time. There's no reason the game should play on. I've punted the ball up the field and the rest blown for offside on my Aubameyang. And I was like, I thought he blew for full time. Tobias was here. I was like, yes, Tobias, I'm 1 win away now to get elite. If I win the last game, I get it. Happy days. And he didn't blow for full time. He blew for an offside. The guy waited a long time to actually take the free kick, pulled the player close, passed it short. And in my mind, I'm thinking, is the ref's going to blow up here? No. He then turns around and passes it again. I'm thinking the ref's going to blow up here. No. 2 passes later, he scores, he equalises, and he goes on to win it in extra time. Again, because I was just playing triggered in extra time because I conceded that, but the game blowing up 2 minutes after time the game had finished has cost me elite this week, other than the other games that I threw and stuff, and it was just crazy for me. Like, I know some people say it's a minimum of 2 minutes of injury time, but you know what FIFA's like. Like, he scored in like the 89th minute. I kicked off, I passed it around the back, held the ball, gave it to the keeper, punted it up expecting full time, and just didn't get what I expected. But so I finished in gold 1, 22 and 8. And yeah, it just leaves a sour taste in my mouth, to be fair. But anyway, let's have a look at the MLS squad that we're going to be using for today. This is the squad right here, guys. So I think I've got +3 attribute cards on these guys, haven't I? I have indeed. Let me well, the in-game stats don't matter, but this is basically, guys, this is just the squad that I'm using. I've got a good bench. I don't want to use the bench unless I absolutely have to. If people pause it to bring on subs for themselves, I'll pause it to bring on subs as well. But yeah, we've got Rimando in goal. My defense is actually okay because Gonzalo Perez here is good. And Skjelvik has got a lot of pace. My left back and right back are pretty weak, and then my midfield and attack is pretty good. We've got Plata there with a lot of pace, but generally quite terrible. Carlos Vea is very good. David Villa with the 5-star, 4-star is very good. Bastian Schweinsteiger with the boost is very nice. That Valeri in form is very, very good, and Alessandrini is good as well. I haven't put Chem Styles on. I don't think I need to get these 6 wins. It should be relatively simple enough. But yeah, guys, that is going to be the squad. Let's go and get into the game and see if we can pick up a win in our first game. I will be right back. Okay, guys, as we go into the game, this guy obviously has an MLS team. Well, not obviously, actually, but he did have an MLS team, and he has Carlos Vea there, the red Carlos Vea, so he also has him, which means he's like, Foot Champs verified kind of guy. Not verified, but he plays Champs to a decent enough level. And this guy subbed on Messi, and I think Aguero and Sergio Ramos straight from kickoff. So this was always going to be a super tough game. But yes, it's not actually guaranteed that you're going to get an MLS team. I've seen so many people streaming trying to get this NepentheZ card coming up against squads labelled MLS that are just full icon squads and stuff, where people are just going in there looking for easy wins. And whilst on the one hand, I do think EA need a casual game mode for people to just play relaxed FIFA. For example, the World Cup game mode, and we'll get to this in a second because I got I had this idea. I didn't really have this idea, but I talked about this last year during the World Cup mode when we got Champions League like information for the new game. But I do believe we need a casual game mode for sure. But it's outrageous, in my opinion, that like gold or better standard players and Division 3 or better standard players are going into online single matches with super teams, just looking for free wins. Like you're gaining nothing out of that. You're genuinely gaining nothing. So what I would have liked to have seen, and this again comes down to the whole FIFA being far too competitive kind of thing, and people just being so stressed for rewards and stuff, is that this objective shouldn't have been an objective that required you to go into online single matches where you can match up against anybody. They should have a new tab or a new section for tournaments, leagues, and singles that have requirements and restrictions. I remember in FIFA 17 they used to put requirements and restrictions on even foot champs squads. You know, they had that one in FIFA 17 Team of the Season where you had to use a minimum of 3 silvers. There was one of them where you had to have a minimum of 18 French players, and so on and so forth. They need a tab where literally you go into the game mode and you have to have an MLS squad to be able to access the game mode. That way, to play for this player, you're going to end up playing against other people with MLS squads in a more casual, friendly manner, just trying to get the card, instead of going into squad, you know, this area of the game, online singles, hoping that you don't come up against that guy that's got the super team and just pumps you. You know, because it's just not fun in that regard. The other thing that, in terms of a casual mode, you know, the World Cup mode was great. I loved the World Cup mode a lot. I was very good at the World Cup mode, you know, obviously the World Cup / icon mode, because there was no matchmaking. And this is something, again, that is actually quite selfish to me, but does work out generally for people. Because there was no matchmaking, the games were just casual. You would come up against the odd decent player. You'd always come up against good teams because of how easy it was to get icons in the World Cup mode. But what was fun about the World Cup mode was that you would play the group stage, and you didn't even have to win the group stage. You could literally draw all 3 games or win one of 3 games and still advance from the group stage and still get the packs and the coins that you got from advancing through the group stage. And it made people not care. It made people play for fun and try and score fun goals and play with non-meta tactics, at least, because everybody had icons. And then you go into the tournament mode, you know, after you qualify out of the group. And if you don't qualify out of the group, it's no problem. You just go straight back into the group stage again. And if you go through to the tournament mode, you get rewards for each level. Obviously, only a player pack, and then you've got a big reward at the end. What I would love to see is a Champions League tournament mode in FIFA. And like, I know we won't get it, and I know this is just a pipe dream, and hey, who knows, maybe something like this will come in FIFA 20. I can't believe we're talking about FIFA 20 already. Like, it does my head in. But I would genuinely love a mode where you go into Champions League mode, you play a group stage again, and hey, make it 6 games in the group stage like it is in real Champions League. That's no dramas, that's no problem at all. If you finish first or second, you get into the knockout rounds, and you get a decent reward for finishing first or second over a 6-game period. I don't want it to be anything crazy, because I think once you put too good a rewards in modes, it makes them too sweaty and too competitive. So, you know, a 15k pack or a couple of 7.5k untradeable packs and maybe 5k coins, just a nominal gesture to say, hey, well done for qualifying, and then it sends you through to the knockout stages. And in the knockout stages, you know, have it from not even the round of 16, the one before that, the round of 32, the round of 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, and final. So 5 games. And every time you win a game, you just get a better reward. So you qualify out of the group stage, you get 2 7.5k packs and 5k coins, untradeable, of course, everything untradeable. If you win the first round, you get another 7.5k untradeable pack. And if you lose the first round, you get a 5k untradeable pack. If you win the second round, you get a Prime Electrum Players pack. And if you lose the second round, you get a 7.5k untradeable pack. You know, and the further you go, the better you get. And then if you end up winning the final, you get a good untradeable pack. Or not even packs for rewards, because I personally don't think packs and coins for rewards should be the norm. I think EA should get away from packs and coins as rewards. But I would just love a mode like that, a league into a knockout mode, where there's no pressure to win, because the rewards are good that it's worth playing, but not great that it's worth sweating. It's a enjoyable, engaging system where if you lose, it's not a problem because you still get rewarded and you can go straight back into playing again. Because in Ultimate Team, in FUT Champs, if you lose, you don't get rewarded. For example, the game that I lost... Now, I lost 8 games this weekend, so it wasn't this one game's fault. But the game that I lost in the 94th minute, when the game should have been up, was such a defining loss that it cost me 1 extra red player pick, the Team of the Week pack, and 20,000 coins. That's how much the game being inconsistent cost me on a weekend basis. And it leaves you feeling just sad and stressed and unhappy about the manner with which the game went. So with a tournament mode like the World Cup mode that we had, it doesn't matter if you lose, because even if you lose in the group stage in the World Cup mode the first game, you could just reset the group. You could be like, okay, I've already ruined this one, let me just reset and go again. And there's no, oh man, I have to win this. And the draft at the moment, I think, is the most casual game mode in FIFA at the moment, and it's the closest thing we have to this, because we're in a position where you get a reward no matter what area you lose in. The problem with draft is that you have to pay 15,000 coins to enter the draft. And because the rewards are so bad comparatively to the 15,000 coins that you play, and the fact that you don't get to use your team, you have to use a team that you draft, even that leaves people stressed and gives people the whole try-hard method and understanding, because it's like, you have to win the draft to even have a chance of getting your money back, or you have to be extremely lucky in the terrible packs through the first few rounds. Now, what I would love to see in FIFA, and I've talked about this so much before, I would genuinely love to see in FIFA less packs and coins as rewards and more player items as rewards, and giving people the opportunity to choose the player that they want as their reward. And the better you do, the better the player is upgraded for the reward. And it doesn't have to be limited to 1 player per week. It could be a multiple system. So take this weekend league, for example. EA could have a batch of 20 players. Now, on top of your red player picks that you'll get anyway, because they're the weekly/monthly rewards, they can still give, again, nominal packs and coin rewards, which would actually improve, the grind of a Road to Glory, and it would actually improve EA's pack sales, because right now, people don't even need to buy packs right now. You get so much through packs and coins from Champs, Rivals, Squad Battles, and SBCs, that if you're spending money on this game, it's because you just have spare money to spend. You can build a top meta team just through probably like 6 to 8 weeks of just playing the game at your best level. You'll still be able to build a top team. The amount of times this weekend league I came up against Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, Pogba, Kante, like Griezmann, I'm coming up, and you guys also the same. So many icons, so many top end players. Like, teams are great at this stage. And so I think a reduction in packs and coins and an increase in the number of players that are rewarded would see for a better, well-mannered game. So, for example, again, this weekend league, if EA for Futmas, the Futmas players that we've had, let me take the Futmas players. Let's even just take, for example, the three from yesterday: Callejon, Firmino, and Zakaria. So we'll take that 81 Zakaria as the first example. So he has an 81 rated card. It's a good card, not a great card. Let's say this weekend league he is one of 10 players as a FUT Champs reward, and the better you do in FUT Champs, the higher rated he gets, to the point where if you finish in top 100, it's like a 92 rated Zakaria. Now, you might think, oh, now everyone that finishes top 100 is going to have the most insane, overpowered Team of the Season-esque players. And that's 2 things come to mind with that. First of all, they already have these insane prime icon teams, so it's not really a big deal. And second of all, it's 1 player that you're picking from per week. There's 10 players to choose from, but you only get to play for and pick 1 or 2 players per week. And so, even if they do have a 92 Zakaria with 90 pace, 80 shooting, 88 passing, 94 physical, 88 defending, and 85 dribbling, yeah, he'll be extremely good. But it's 1 player, and if you finish in Elite, you just get a little bit of a lesser version. A gold, you'd get like an 86 version. Silver, you'd get like an 84 version. And bronze, you'd get the 81 version. So what you're playing for now is the choice of a few cards, and then it doesn't really matter if you finish gold or gold 1 or gold 2 or elite 3, because it's just about making sure you can try and get the best version of the card that you can possibly get. And he could help improve your squad. It could be fun for building new squads. And I think, as you know, I've talked about this before last year in terms of squad battle rewards. I think this would be much, much more fun for people. I would play squad battles if they offered player rewards every week. If there was if top 100, again, let's take Calais, 86 Calais. If top 100 on squad battles was like a 92 Calais, and Elite 1 was like a 90, Elite 2 was an 89, Elite 3 was an 88, gold was an 87, and then silver or lower was the 86 Futmas Calais. I would play the hell out of squad battles to try and get into top 100. Oh, well, no, I can get top 100 squad battles to get that 92 or 93 rated Jose Calais. I would play the hell out of it because it would be something fun to play for, rather than playing all of those games for, 60k coins, and then some packs that more than likely aren't going to get you anything. The idea of playing for something unique that nobody else can get, that's what interests me. That's what intrigues me. And I think that's why a lot of people are stopping in gold in FUT Champs and are generally becoming disenchanted with FUT Champs, because you're not playing for a unique item that nobody else can get. Because as we've seen so many times, people that are finishing top 100 are very often getting worse rewards than people are finishing in gold. Now, obviously, there is a lot more people that finish gold than finish top 100, obviously. So when, let's say 100,000 people finish gold 3, even if 1% of those people get the best rewards, that's now 1,000 people that have got the best rewards. When people tweet about that and talk about that, through social media, it gives the impression and understanding that gold 3 is better. But what you then don't see is the 99% of people that got absolutely nothing. But due to the fact that you can get the same in gold 3 as you can in number 1 in the world, it for a lot of people who just don't want to be competitive in this game and don't want to have to play the sweatiest, hardest games of their lives, it's like, why bother playing past gold 3? And maybe that's where we should go on the weekend league from now on this road to glory. I was going to talk about the future of the road to glory here today, but I guess we'll do that tomorrow whilst we're doing the other games, because I think, the first comment I've got is actually from Dreke Bonnie. He says, this series has become the FIFA 17 road to glory, and I agree with you. I'm in a position where I just feel trapped in the series, and I'm not enjoying it because of that. We've got a great team, sure, but we're using the same players. Like I'm nearly at 600 games with most of my players on this squad right now. Not this squad that we're using here because it's the MLS squad, but Ferdinand, Lala, Juanfran, the Varane and Courtois, Aubameyang and Kevin De Bruyne. Those guys specifically have 400 or more games for me, and they are just the crux of my team because they are so good that the only real true upgrades to those are going to be Icons and Ronaldo. And the only way I'm going to get those Icons and Ronaldo is either through packing them from absolute dumb luck, which we know probably won't happen, or we can get that through crafting them through SBCs. And so when the Sol Campbell SBC came along, my initial thought was, I just want to do this because it will be a different player in my team. But the problem is it will just be a different player in my team for Sol Campbell. And I've actually, over this weekend league, I decided I'm not going to do Sol Campbell because I had his loan in the whole weekend league, and it didn't improve he was a good card, but it wasn't so good to the point where I thought, wow, I need to get him and not Varane. Like, that would have been a gross waste of coins. So I think we need to have a chat in due course about what we're going to do with this road to glory, where we're going to go. Do I just start playing it to gold 3 until team of the season, maybe saving packs? People don't want me to save packs. I would love to just save packs for team of the season. Obviously for team of the year it's a bit late because there's a month left. We could even save packs for team of the year, but by just playing to 14 wins a weekend, there would be, I actually could just use fun teams, because it would be a case of, even if I finished 14 and 16, which even with a fun team I don't think that would be the case, it wouldn't matter. But for me to be able to use fun teams, sadly we would have to change away from a first owner road to glory into a traditional road to glory, because for example, the person in yesterday's video who talked about, oh man, you should build a Bundesliga team because you've got so many cool Bundesliga players. I have, but I also have got so many holes in a Bundesliga team. I don't have any good fullbacks, no good striker. Like, I would need to go out and buy those players. And I think it would be fun right now with how bad the market is. Like, the market's on the floor, for example, to go out there and buy David Alaba and Jerome Boateng. And partner them up with Farman and Jonathan Tah. Like, David Alaba's down to 30k. Like, why not? You know, Jerome Boateng, if we went and got his 86, he's at 40k. So for just 70,000 coins, we could get Alaba and Boateng, pair them up with the UCL Jonathan Tah and the UCL Farman, and then go in at right back. And I don't know who we'd get in at right back, but then we could use that Goretzka card that we've got. And in general, there's like a whole bunch of Bundesliga players that we could pick up. I've obviously got that James Rodriguez that I pack that we could use and then sub out. We could go and get players like the 86 UCL Arjen Robben, who's 45, 50k, and we could actually start taking some of the players that we have as a first owner and buying some players that we don't have to fill in the gaps and building fun teams. Now, of course, that would just remove the first owner RTG, but I always had it in my mind that around Team of the Year would be the time where this series changed to a regular RTG. I never thought it would be because my account and team is too good. I always thought it would be because it was so bad that I'd be like, guys, we've just got to start buying players here because this is horrific. However, I also want to have the understanding right at the end of the game. And this is where I'm always caught in two minds. Like, when it comes to Team of the Season, when we get to the end of the year, I want to be able to show people what I've done through nothing but first owner. But as some people in the comments rightly point out, the first owner aspect is kind of a moot point because I'm able to buy players to complete SBCs. If we weren't able to buy players to complete SBCs, I wouldn't have the team that I have, but I wouldn't actually be far off of it because a lot of my big players, the UCL, like obviously Mbappe, Pogba, Varane, are all pack pulled. Courtois is pack pulled from an SBC that I would have been able to complete with pack pulled players, as is De Bruyne, as is Bale. Like, all the UCL upgrades I would have been able to get, but all I'd be missing really from my team is like Aubameyang and probably Makelele and Ferdinand. But I would still have Trezeguet in the team, so Aubameyang would then not even really be that relevant either. I don't know. It is a strange one. Like, by putting, like, it's too late now, but by putting stricter stipulations on, it would have potentially been better for the series. But yeah, bottom line is I would love to have a weekend league with that Timo Werner up front alongside some of my other German players. You know, the 87 Timo Werner, he's 340k. We could afford him. If I went and sold all of my investments and consumables, we could go and buy a full-out Bundesliga top squad, have fun with them, and then sell them afterwards and go from there. But I don't know. I'd be interested to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. But this is going to be the end of the video, guys. I won that first game there 4-2. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.